Scheduled for this time and this date. Please call the roll.
Dan Durham.
Here.
John Walker.
Here.
Mike Flood.
Here.
Tony Cook.
Here.
Thank you. Next up are the minutes from the March 25th meeting. As was brought up, few of us were actually here, so I don't know how that works.
Mr. Chair, I move that we minutes as presented.
And I support.
That's all we need. We have a motion on the floor to approve with support. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We're good. Next up, agenda review and approval. We have a short calendar tonight. Anybody have any concerns about what we have in front of us? Any discussion points before we move forward?
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the agenda as submitted.
Thank you. Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Flood and support by Mr. Cook. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next ZBA business for tonight, case AB 2024-09, Keith Ford, Bruce Calhoun, Creekwood Architecture for 3850 Joslin, Sidwell 09-28-376-031, postponed from the 25th of March meeting. Applicants are seeking two variances from zoning ordinance 78, zoned GB. Article 14, section 14.03C3. Number one is a 10-foot drive aisle setback variance from the required 30 feet for a drive aisle to be 20 feet from the north property line. And number two, a 10-foot landscape green belt width variance from the required 30 feet for the landscape green belt width to be 20 feet along the north property line. Come on up, please, introduce yourself and let us know what you'd like to do.
Bruce Calhoun, 1111 Creekwood Trail, Burton, Michigan, Creekwood Architecture. Last time we were here, we had quite a few variances, and we were trying to get a drive-through restaurant in there, and that just wasn't practical. So we're back with just the C-store and expanding the gas pumps. We're adding one gas pump. The zoning ordinance requires a maneuvering lane beyond the pump for two-way traffic. So that forces us to ask for a variance to widen that drive aisle around the pump. We felt that one lane was sufficient, but the township requires two. So that's why we're asking for the variance. On that side of the property, there's a screen wall, mature trees that run along the neighboring property. And on the site plan, we're adding additional pine trees along that area too.
Okay. Not that it's got specifically to do with the variance that you're asking for, but are you going to make improvements on that building, or better yet, take it down and rebuild it?
Well, it's good. If you look at the size of the building, it's gone, and it's going to be a pretty good sized building. And it's, I don't know if you've ever seen the elevations yet. Did they submit any elevations to you or anything? I thought there was elevations on that variance sheet. No? Okay. Yeah, she might have had me take them off. Yeah, it's going to be a brand-new building, really nice facade on it, and it's going to have all the amenities that most C-stores have now.
Good, because I was in there over the weekend, and the north end of that building that's there is a little bit shaky.
That whole building is shaky.
Thank you, board members.
How about that building? Been there 70 years, something like that. 60, 70 years probably at least. Mr. Chairman, I was reviewing the,
Why don't you come back up? You're going to have to hang out until everybody gets a chance.
I think I got
We put you on first today on purpose, and last.
At last.
couple comments here that our planning and zoning department does a great job giving us all the information so we can try to come to a consensus. And I was looking at when you went before the planning commission, I see you got your special land use approved, but they can't, you wanted to come before us first before the site plan was approved. If you get the variances, and then you're going back to the planning commission. So, and the planning commission had to naturally deny you the site plan because until this happens. So.
And they were pretty receptive for the site plan. They were looking forward to it being built.
Yeah, I like to read the reviews from our planner and Mr. Walker's our representative there, and he does a great job on that. I appreciate you taking down the amount of variances you had last time. And to me, this is, I didn't see any response from the neighbors like we had last time. And I don't see these variances being, well, I guess you could say maybe it's a little self-creation when you're putting the extra pump in. What do you got there now? Just 2 pumps or 1 pump?
3.
3?
We're going to 4.
But then I kind of take in consideration too that the fire marshal and everybody in our township ordinance, you need that extra lane so you can have the two-way traffic. It's such a small parcel. It's probably been in existence for 60, 70 years, I would imagine.
Yes.
My lifetime not being out here. I have no problem with these 2 variances.
That propane tank that is there, where is that going to go in the course of this?
If you go back to the site plan, it's being located closer to the building. It's the required distance away from the building. And the fire marshal's already had, or the fire chief's already had a chance to look at that, and he's approved it.
Very good, thank you.
Sure. Yes, I did have a question about number 7, but I think Mr. Flood did a great job of kind of, on your application. But I think Mr. Flood did a good job of following up with you and you addressing those questions. I'm also just curious about the state of the underground tanks. Has that been tested or prior to taking the building, or will that be tested prior to taking the building down, or some kind of update on that?
I'm not aware of any testing that's been done on them. What we do have to do with those tanks is we do have to extend the fueling portion of it to the other side of the tank. So that's going to be something that's done with it, and I'm sure if there's any issues with it, they'll take care of them then.
Thank you.
If you know, sir, how long have those tanks been down?
I don't know that answer.
I know that's going to probably handle the planning commission too, I'll bet. Dave, is that regulated by the state or federal government or something?
Yeah, the state regulates the gas tanks.
To make sure they're all,
Underground tanks, yeah.
they're compliant. And I know our engineering firm also makes sure everything's in compliant too for the
Yeah, some,
on the safety factor and the stormwater runoff and all that.
yeah, and sometimes when we do have demolition, we do ask for some soil testing. just to see.
And actually, I don't know if you guys are aware of this or not, but the site slopes from the north to the south, and we are, because we're doing this development, they're making us put underground detention for the entire site as if it was new. Typically, we get credit for all the hard surface, but they're not giving us any credit for it. And so we're putting a whole new underground system in there, so the water will go into catch basins, then go into this underground holding area. And it also has an aqua swirl, which is a containment system in case there's any spill of gasoline on the site or anything like that. And then it's going to go into a pump chamber, and it's actually going to have to pump it up and out into the ditch that goes across the street. The grades don't work that we can just surface drain or anything like that out over, it's just too shallow. So we actually have to have a double pump system to bring it up to the other side.
That would probably bring you up to today's standards then.
Brings us up to today's standards. We don't like the idea of having the pumping, but there's just no other way around it. And if, say, the pumps were to fail, it would just overflow just like it does now to the other side of the street, to the ditch.
Yeah, that's always been a problem with the Hammersley there, all that water always laying in there.
Yeah.
Planning commission's words, been working with this petitioner. We carved it all the way to this now. That means that the board sees fit to grant these variances, go back in front of the planning commission, and after we do that, we can look at it.
If you are successful tonight, when do you anticipate starting construction?
We have to get back on the agenda for the planning commission, which will probably be another month. He's got bids out right now for the project, so he would probably want to start within the next 3 months, before the end of the summer, to get underway. if everything goes good.
That's the hard part now, since COVID anyway, getting all these contract guys set up.
Yeah, he's very shocked at the prices that are coming in. Since COVID, the prices have gone up, and we thought they'd start coming back down, and they just have not come back down. Cost of construction is huge now.
Well, I will kind of echo what Mr. Flood said. I looked this stuff over, went to the site, and compared to the last time that you were in front of us, this is a greatly pared down and much more citizen-friendly plan that you have here. And as he again said, there are no neighbors, there's no incoming correspondence, there's nobody here. I personally don't have any problem with it. I mean, you've shown that you're willing to scale back and cooperate, and that's important. So just one vote, but I don't see an issue with it myself.
And I apologize for that last time. I mean, I don't have any say in what he wants to, what the owner wants to do as far as variances. They, pay you to come in and see what you can do, and I have to do what I'm paid to do, so.
That means you're a good businessman.
Did not want to come to that meeting that night.
If the board doesn't have anything for this, gentlemen, we consider a vote.
Everybody's looking at everybody, who's gonna do it? Who's gonna do it? Mr. Chairman, I'll give it a try. And my fellow board members, if there's something I leave out, feel free to amend it. I have no problem doing that. In the matter of ZBA case AB 2024-09, Keith Ford and Bruce Calhoun, Creekwood Architecture, for 3850 Joslin Road, Sidwell 09-28-376-031. I would move that the petitioner's request for 2 variances from zoning ordinance number 78, zone GB, general business. Article 14, section 14.03, C3, a 10-foot drive aisle setback variance from the required 30 feet for a drive aisle to be 20 feet from the north property line. Article 14, section 14.03, D2, a 10-foot landscape greenbelt width variance from the required 30 feet for the landscape greenbelt width to be 20 feet along the north property line be granted. For the plans date stamped received February 23, 2024, because the applicant did demonstrate that the following standards for variances have been met in this case and that they've set forth facts which show that in this case, the petitioner does show the following practical difficulty. One is a unique characteristic of this property. This is a very old business that's been located in that corner of Joslin and Hammersley. And applicant had been before us previously, and this board had turned down a lot more variances, and these 2 variances are unique in that in trying to make that property work for that existing building, a property, put it that way. The following are exceptional or extraordinary circumstance or condition applicable to the property involved that do not generally apply to other properties in the same zone or district. As I previously stated, it's a small filling station that's been there for nobody can remember how long. And they're trying to, our understanding is they're going to tear the building down and put a new building up, and they need these variances in order to get a 2-way traffic flow through, which is what our ordinance demands, and also to satisfy the fire department so they can get their emergency rigs in there. The variance is necessary for preservation and enjoyment of substantial property right possessed by other property in the same zone or vicinity based on the following facts. This is nothing more than what other existing gas stations are doing now, and because of his small lot, he needs this the same throughfare to allow that traffic through. The granting of the variance or modification will not be material detrimental to the public welfare or material interest of the property or to improvements in such zone or district in which the property is located based on the following findings of fact. Prior We had numerous residents who were opposed, and this time we have no communication whatsoever to oppose this. And being an existing business there, the property values, in fact, it might even increase the property values by having a new building put in there and bringing it up to today's standards. Mr. Chairman, that's my motion.
Motion on the floor by Mr. Flood, supported by Mr. Walker. Do we have any additional discussion by the board? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Diane Denaskus, yes. Tony Cook,
Yes.
John Walker, Mike Flood,
Yes.
Ann Durham.
Yes, motion passes. One meeting down, one to go.
Thank you very much.
Good luck to you, sir.
Have a
Good
good
luck
night.
with the PC.
Now we can blast right through public comment. We have a stack of things from staff. One of the ones that got my attention was we may want to consider canceling the meeting on the 22nd of April for lack of agenda item.
Mr. Chairman, I will move to cancel the April 22nd, 24 ZBA meeting due to a lack of agenda items.
And I will support.
Okay.
Motion on the floor with the support. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Consider it canceled if that's what the office continues to do. Don't need that one. Have some training opportunities. They offered one that was going to be out at Oakland County in the Commissioner's Auditorium. And here's another notice. It says some of you signed up for that one, but there's information attached about one apparently that is at Bavarian Inn in Frankenmuth. So that can be something that you can go over when you choose to and avail yourself of it if you choose to. Beyond that, committee reports, anything of that nature? Member comments,
I got one comment here.
please.
I noticed in our hard copy here tonight, even on the computer, they're still putting that second
Instead of,
set of agenda language that we redid in our ordinance, we don't have to do anymore.
Yeah.
So, just a note.
Okay. Make sure that information gets brought in. That's, I'm sure, just an oversight, but the more they can clean these things up, the better it'll be. Ms. Walker, anything?
Sure. The Library Friends Annual Meeting is tomorrow night at 6:30 at the library. Everyone's invited. There's a room where there's refreshments going to be served. Get to know the friends. Get involved. We're looking for volunteers. We're looking for help.
You running for president again?
Sorry. I keep running for president only because no one else runs for president.
No?
I feel like I'm a dictator.
When they
okay?
find a good man, they want to stay with him.
Sort of. That's all I have.
Okay. Anything additional from anybody else?
Great day to watch the eclipse.
yeah.
Yes, it would.
Yeah.
Anybody gonna watch the basketball game tonight?
9:30? No.
No, the college
The real game.
championship game.
Final.
That is something I can say with no fear of contradiction. I have never once watched a basketball game ever in my life at any level.
Wow.
It's the only time I watched the
You a communist?
Baseball. I played baseball until my arm fell off, and I never got into basketball. Well, if we're run out of things to talk about, we can motion to adjourn.
So moved.
So supported. All in favor?
Aye.
You don't have to
Opposed.
go home, but you can't stay here.